All right, well, it's that time of year again where people start to ask, how the hell am I going to compete with Bath & Body Works $10 candles? And the short answer is you don't. All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff Standley with Standley Handcrafted, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that comes up literally every single year, and it's something that really gets accented and really talked about in the Facebook groups, which are out there. And if you're not a part of the Facebook group, I'll go ahead and include a link to it in the video description down below. But if you go onto Facebook, just type in DIY candle making, beginner to advanced, and you can jump over there, sign up, and join all the other candle conversations that are going on outside of this channel. All right, so I wanted to make this video. I've seen this pop up a lot. Obviously, it's the candle making season, it's shopping season, and of course, Bath & Body Works is doing their candle sale, and they usually do a couple throughout the year. They'll do 3 for a certain price, or they're doing their $26 3-wick candle for $9.95 or $9.99 or whatever it is. And a lot of people, especially new candle makers coming into this, really start to struggle with, how am I supposed to compete with that? And obviously, the short answer is, you just don't. You're in a different market. And I'll go into a little bit longer explanation in the video, but if you want to stop the video right then and there, that's it. You don't. You're in a different market. And honestly, I would equate this to going out to any food restaurant, coffee. It happens in every single industry. There are cheap versions of stuff. There are very nice versions of stuff, and you're going to find your market. You're going to find your customers, your demographic. You're going to find your people that will buy from you in any market that you get into. And of course, you can see this everywhere. So if you were to go out and go to a steak dinner at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, you can pick up a tomahawk for around $150, or you can go to Applebee's and you can get a $10 steak. Now, obviously, $10 is a hell of a lot cheaper than $150. But of course, anybody that's eaten steak, you know that there's a quality difference. And that's basically what it comes down to with the candles as well. There is a big quality difference between what a company puts out, what you're putting out, and that's really how you ultimately compete with a big sale like that. Now, of course, jumping in a little bit further with that one, going a little bit deeper, you're not going to find a ton of people. In the grand scheme of things, yes, you're finding hundreds of thousands that will pay $150 for a tomahawk steak, but you're looking at millions that will pay for a $10 steak somewhere else. And that's going to be the same for candles. There are candles out there that are $100, $200, $300 that do sell very well, but you're in kind of a niche market when you're in that one, as opposed to, like, even the dollar store sells dollar candles. But if you've ever burned one of those, you can definitely see why they're $1. They burn extremely fast. They don't throw the scent that well. And honestly, the scents just aren't that strong. They're making a dollar candle. They just want it to kind of work in a small bathroom. It does what it does for $1. And honestly, that's what I would tell anybody that's getting into this, and anybody that makes candles on their own. That is what you're going to tell a customer that may end up coming to you saying, well, why would I buy your candle for $20 or $30 when I can just go here and buy one for $5 or $10 or get 3 for $20? And of course, experience down the line will help you answer those questions a little bit better. But for me, anytime somebody that says something like that, as far as like the Bath & Body Works candles, I usually say the waxes that I use are a little bit nicer. They burn a little bit slower. They burn a little bit cleaner. And of course, the fragrance options are typically a little bit stronger. Now, again, that's not to say that Bath & Body Works does not have great candles. They do smell very nice. I've burned some of those candles. I like a lot of the scents that they have. And in fact, I actually sell some duplicates of fragrance oils that they sell, I sell in my line. But on the other side of that, those candles are made for mass consumption. They're made to burn through in a couple days to a week, depending on how you're burning those. Whereas something like a candle that you're making, those tend to burn a little bit longer, especially if you're using different types of waxes. Something that burns a little bit slower, like a soy, you're going to burn through that candle in probably, I mean, depending on how you're burning it, of course, in a couple weeks to a month's time. And from my experience, burning through one of those Bath & Body Works candles, they tend to burn quite a bit quicker than the candles that I make. And this is exactly the answer I've given on the Facebook group. Like I said, a ton of these posts have popped up in the last couple weeks with all these sales coming out. And especially, like I said, new candle makers just coming into this. This is the reason why this question comes up once a year, is because you get new candle makers in here who are seeing the costs and what it takes to make just a basic candle. So even if you're making something like this, this can cost upwards of $5 to $7 or $8 to make that candle. And of course, you can get that cost down when you're buying in bulk. But if you're making that candle and it costs you $6, $7, $8, and then you turn around and see Bath & Body Works is offering a bigger candle than that for basically $2 more. It gets very frustrating to understand how they're getting away with that. And automatically people just go into, well, I've got to sell mine for even cheaper so that I can compete with that. And I would tell you, absolutely do not do that. Stop right there. Don't cut your prices, and realize that you are in a different market than a Bath & Body Works candle for $9. I would also say that they're doing that because they are obviously buying in larger volumes. They can afford to take a price cut. And again, they're only doing this sale once, twice, maybe 3 times a year. So it's really not something that you have to worry about on a weekly or daily basis by any means. So going forward, I would definitely tell anybody out there that's just getting into this, anybody that's asking themselves this same question, learn your product, learn why your products would be or are definitely better than a product like this one. If they're not better in a certain area, you can absolutely make it better in that area. So if you're using a wax that burns a little bit too fast, you can change that out. You can switch things up. You can change wicks and do things like get a longer burn time out of your candles, which will of course make your candles seem more valuable than something like that. And then another area that I didn't even mention is a lot of people like to shop small. They like the uniqueness that comes with a candle that you're making. If you're making candles for local shops, you're in your local area, they're branded as such. A lot of people like to look for that kind of thing. A lot of people like to stay away from some of the big market or the kind of the big stores that are out there, and they will shop local. And of course, it ultimately comes down to finding your target audience, finding out what you're after, and then of course, marketing and kind of pricing your candles for the market that you're in. But that's pretty much it with this one. I just wanted to get in here quick and add a video on this one because I was answering 2 or 3 posts on the Facebook group on this specific question. So I wanted to make a video on it. I think I made one last year and possibly the year before also. And it's just one that comes up all the time. So I wanted to go through and update this video and kind of get something out there on reasons why you really shouldn't worry about stuff like this. And of course, if you have any different thoughts on this subject at all, please let me know in the comment section down below. I love to hear what people think or how they kind of work around sales like that. So again, please let me know in the comment section down below. Hit subscribe on the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.